बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम।
शुरू अल्लाह के नाम से जो रहमान और रहीम है।
इक़रा बिस्मि रब्बिकल्लज़ी खलक़।
पढ़ो ए नबी अपने रब के नाम के साथ जिसने पैदा किया।
खलक़ल इंसान मिन अलक़।
जमे हुए खून के एक लोथड़े से इंसान की तख्लीक की।
इक़रा व रब्बुकल अकरम।
पढ़ो और तुम्हारा रब बड़ा करीम है।
अल्लज़ी अल्लम बिल क़लम।
जिसने कलम के जरिए से इल्म सिखाया।
अल्लमल इंसान मा लम यअलम।
इंसान को वो इल्म दिया जिसे वो न जानता था।
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hi students, how are you? I hope that you are fine. This is 9th class and period is English text. As you know that we are going to referring this book for English text. We have already covered 2 chapters of this book, the last sermon of the Holy Prophet and Shah Abdul Latif Bhai. These were the lessons. Today we will cover the next chapter, 3rd chapter of this book. The chapter's name is the Neem Tree. This is the poem. So take the book and open the page number 17. The Neem Tree. This is a poem written by Mrs. Elsa Qazi. Mrs. Elsa Qazi was German wife of Allama Qazi, and the neem tree, there is a tree very famous or common in Sindh. Everywhere you will go, you will find the neem tree in countryside. Mrs. Elsa Qazi was the wife of Allama Qazi. Allama Qazi lived in Jamshoro. That is why she saw the neem tree, the thickness of neem tree, and the shades provided by neem tree were very soothing, so that she started to write or compose a poem on the neem tree and gave an example that you can take an example from the neem tree. It is also mentioned in the Holy Quran that all other things, natural things, are for the guidance for human being. These are the guidance for the human being. We can take guidelines from the human being. Okay. Page number 17. I am reading introduction of the poetess, and then I will read and explain the poem. The Neem Tree. This poem was written by Mrs. Elsa Qazi, the German wife of Allama Aya Qazi, the late Vice Chancellor of the University of Sindh. This poem, as I already told you, that written by Mrs. Elsa Qazi. Mrs. Elsa Qazi was the German wife of Allama Qazi. Allama I Qazi. I stands for Imdad, इमाम अली काजी, इमदाद इमाम अली काजी। वो वाइस चांसलर थे यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ सिंध के। यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ सिंध was one of the famous university and first university of Sindh. It was built, I think, 1945. She was born at Weimar in Germany. Weimar, Germany में पैदा हुई थी. She met Allama Aya Qazi in 1907 in London, and in 1910 was married to him. She met with Allama Aya Qazi in London in a train, and during that meeting they both liked one another and they married in 1910. 1907 में उनकी मुलाकात हुई थी, 1910 में उनकी शादी हुई थी. They came to Sindh in 1911 where she spent the rest of her life visiting Europe now and again. वो दोनों सिंध में आए थे 1911 में. और पूरी जिंदगी एल्सा काजी ने सिंध में ही गुजारी थी। कभी कभार वो यूरोप जाया करती थी अपने पेरेंट्स के पास। She wrote poems in German and English and also helped her husband in writing his book Brown Girl in Search of God. She wrote poetry in 2 languages. 2 languages में वो पोएट्री किया करती थी। एक जर्मन was her mother tongue, another English. And she also helped her husband. इनके अपने हस्बैंड की भी मदद की थी। वो एक बुक लिख रहे थे ब्राउन गर्ल इन सर्च ऑफ गॉड। ब्राउन गर्ल इन सर्च ऑफ गॉड, एक गोरी लड़की जो खुदा की तलाश में होती है। बिकॉज शी वॉज ब्राउन, दैट इज वाई शी हेल्प्ड हर हस्बैंड इन राइटिंग दैट बुक। She died in Hyderabad on May 28, 1967 and is buried beside her husband at the Sindh University campus, Jamshoro. She died on May 28, 1967 and she is buried there at Sindh University campus, Jamshoro. Her tomb or her grave is in Sindh University. There are, I think, 10 meters distance between her husband's grave and her grave. They both are buried there in Sindh University, inside the area of Sindh University. That was the writers or poetess, introduction of the poetess. This poem, the name tree, I am repeating, memorize it. This poem is written by Mrs. Elsa Kazi. Mrs. Elsa Kazi was born in Weimar. Weimar is a city of Germany. And she married with Allama Kazi in 1907. So in 1907 they met in London and they married in 1910. She came to Sindh in 1911. She composed poetry in 2 languages, German and English. And she also helped her husband writing book The Brown Girl in Search of God. She died on May 28, 1967 and she is buried in Jamshoro, or now you can say Jamshoro. It is separated from Hyderabad. It was the part of Hyderabad previously. Then Dadu, it was the part of then Dadu, and now it is also a separate district of Sindh. So that was the brief sketch, a brief introduction of poetess. In 10 years you will find the questions. Tell the brief life of Elsa Kazi. Okay, I am going to read the poem now. Listen carefully. My lovely name. She is standing in front of neem tree and speaking with neem. My lovely name that intercepts sun's scorching beam, yet bears the heat all day, without the rain's refreshing spray. Thou charm the wanderers who away with soothing shades. Elsa Kazi is talking with neem tree. She said that my lovely name, मेरी प्यारी नीम, that intercepts sun's scorching beams. आप सूरज के जो गर्म किरणें होते हैं वो उनको जज़ब कर लेती हैं, उनको खुद रोक लेती हैं, खुद में समा लेती हैं। Yet bears the heat all day, पूरा दिन आप गर्मी बर्दाश्त करती है सूरज के गर्म किरणों की। Without the rain's refreshing spray, कभी कभार मतलब आप कई सालों के बाद बारिश होती है, बारिश के बिना भी आप उनको जज़्ब कर लेती है, खुद में समा लेती हैं। Thou charms the wanderers who away with soothing shades. तो आप करती क्या, नीम ट्री करती क्या है, मतलब वो गर्म किरणें जो होते हैं, जला देने वाले किरणें जो होते हैं, उनको रोक के और उनको शेड्स, सूदिंग शेड्स में तब्दील कर देती हैं। और जो जो गांव में जाएंगे, whenever you will go in countrysides or villages, you will find the persons always go or their pedestrian, they travel on foot, they go from one village to another village on foot. So that is called wanderer. वो बहुत थके हुए होते हैं, जब नीम के दरख्त के नीचे बैठते हैं तो उनको एक सुकून पुरसुकून साया मिलता है, बहुत अच्छे तरीके से मतलब वो वहाँ पे आराम करते हैं, नींद करते हैं। इतनी ठंडी ठंडी हवा होती है कि बयान नहीं कर सकते हम लोग। फर्स्ट स्टैंजा। सेकंड स्टैंजा, हाउ स्ट्रांग यू आर, हाउ अनअफ्रेड, आप कितने मजबूत हैं और आप कितने बेखौफ हैं। नीम के दरख्त को बोल रहे हैं एल्सा काजी। How green thy leaves in spite of all the midday flames that burning fall upon thy unprotected hedge. आपके जो पत्ते होते हैं वो कितने हरे होते हैं, इसके बावजूद के सूरज की किरणें जो होते हैं, जला देने वाले किरणें जो होते हैं वो आपके सर के ऊपर पड़ते हैं। हालांकि आपका सर भी खुला होता है, कोई भी कवर नहीं होती, कोई भी कैप नहीं होती आपके सर के ऊपर, उनके बावजूद भी इन स्पाइट ऑफ इट लीव्स रिमेन ग्रीन सॉरी, तो आपके पत्ते ग्रीन रहते हैं, हरे रहते हैं। Could man be bold as thou and rise above the earth with the sheltering arm? क्या आदमी इंसान भी आपकी तरह बन सकता है? मतलब आपके जो डालियां होती हैं, नीम के दरख्त की डालियां जो होती हैं दूसरों को मतलब साया देती हैं, छांव देती, सिंपल लैंग्वेज यू कैन से छांव देती है। क्या आदमी भी ऐसे अपने हाथ जो है दूसरों के सर ऊपर जो मतलब सर पे रख सकता है, दूसरों को मदद कर सकता है? आदमी के हाथ मतलब दूसरों की मदद के लिए उठ सकते हैं क्या? जो सफरिंग वंस होते हैं फ्रॉम सॉरोज पॉवर्टी एंड वाइस थ्रू सैक्रिफाइस, उनके दुख दूर कर सकते हैं, उनकी जो गुनाह हो मतलब गुर्बत दूर कर सकते हैं, या उनके जो मॉरली इखलाकी एंड डिसेबल पर्सन्स होते हैं उनके परेशानी दूर कर सकते हैं क्या एक इंसान भी? थ्रू सैक्रिफाइस, नीम के दरख्त की तरह खुद को सैक्रिफाइस करके दूसरों को क्या खुशी पहुंचा सकते हैं? कुड मैन बी स्टेडफास्ट मुस्तकिल मिजाज, साबित कदम। Could man be steadfast and like thee face every fate? Would it not be fulfillment of life's loftiest dream, my lovely name? क्या इंसान भी मुस्तकिल मिजाज साबित कदम हो सकता है आपकी तरह हर किस्मत को फेस करे? नीम की दरख्त की किस्मत क्या होती है? You know that नीम का it always remains in unprotected, वो हमेशा मतलब सर खुला होता है उनका, और ज्यादा गर्मी होती है फिर भी वो खड़ी रहती है और दूसरों को सुकून पहुंचाती है। किस्मत उनकी आंधी आए बारिश हो कुछ भी हो, वो हर वक्त हर टाइम में वो मुस्तकिल मिजाज ही होती है, कभी भी इधर उधर मतलब नहीं होके, मतलब उसका मकसद होता है दूसरों को खुशी पहुंचाना। क्या इंसान भी ऐसे हो सकता है दूसरों को खुशी पहुंचा सके, दूसरों की मदद कर सके? जो मतलब दूसरे लोग होते हैं उनको उनकी गम दुख दूर करे, सरोज वाइस पॉवर्टी थ्रू सेल्फ सैक्रिफाइस, दैट इज द पर्पज ऑफ लाइफ इन होली कुरान एंड वेयर एवर यू विल फाइंड इन वेदास इन बाइबल you will find that the purpose of human life is to sacrifice yourself for other peoples. Humanity is the main purpose. God loves those who love human beings. Fulfillment of life's loftiest dream, according to poetess, that is the life's loftiest dream. अजीम ख्वाब होता है यही जिंदगी का, दूसरों की मदद करना। My lovely name, जो हमें किस से मिलता है सबक? From where we get that lesson? From neem tree. To help others. The main purpose, central idea of this poem is that we should sacrifice our life for others. We should give shadows. We should help others. We should help needy peoples. We should help poor peoples. We should help disabled persons. That is the main purpose of life. Okay? The main purpose of life is दूसरों की मदद करना। जैसे नीम का दरख्त मदद करता है, मतलब कोई भी किस्मत हो वो दूसरों की मदद के ही लिए होती है। This poem is written by, I already told you, Elsa Kazi, German. She was born in Weimar, Germany. She met Allama Kazi in 1907. Allama Kazi was in Sindh, and she married with Allama Kazi in 1910, and she came to Sindh in 1911, and she composed poetry in 2 languages, German and English, and she also helped her husband writing book. He was writing a book, Brown Girl in the Search of God, and she died on 28 May 1967, and she is buried beside her husband in Sindh University campus, Jamshoro. Okay, so turn out the page number 18. The words are given here. Words meanings are given here. Intersects, cross each other, और जस्ट कर लेना, स्कॉचिंग वेरी हॉट, बहुत ज्यादा गर्म, इस पे फुहार जो होती है वो दुख, सूदिंग कॉम, फुलफिलमेंट कंप्लीशन मुकम्मल, तकमील, लॉफ्टीएस्ट, वेरी नोबल. ओके, द क्वेश्चन आंसर्स आर गिवन हियर आल्सो. हाउ कैन द मीन ट्री, पेज नंबर, from the content, page number 52. Question on 14/7/2020, you have to write down the words meaning. And on 15/7/2020 on Wednesday, you have to complete the question answers. Questions are given, and I have also written the answer. What is the central idea of the poem? Simply, the central idea of this poem is to help others, like neem tree. Okay. And as the central idea of the poem, the neem tree is that a man should follow the example of neem tree, that it bears the troubles itself while provides soothing shade to others. दूसरों की मदद करना. A man should also help others through self-sacrifice, खुद को कुर्बान करके. A man should save the suffering ones from sorrows, harm, sorrows, poverty and vice. How can the neem tree prevent the burning heat of the sun from troubling us? नीम का दरख्त जो है, मतलब सूरज जो गर्म किरणें होते हैं वो हमें नुकसान पहुंचाते हैं, उनसे हमें कैसे बचाती है? The neem tree can prevent us from the burning heat of the sun in a way that intercepts the scorching beam and heat of the sun itself while provides us soothing shades. वो खुद जज्ब कर लेती है, खुद में समा लेती है गर्म किरणें और हमें साया देती है, ठंडी छाव, ठंडा साया देती है. Why does the poetess say that the neem tree is unafraid? पोइटेस ने क्यों कहा है कि नीम ट्री बेखौफ होती है? The poetess says that the neem tree is unafraid because it stands directly in open atmosphere without any protection, bears the heat and cold bravely without any fear. Okay. What does the neem tree look like? The neem tree look like a man, the man who help others. How does the poetess compare the neem tree to men? वो लोगों से कैसे कंपेयर करती है, मतलब नीम के दरख्त को, क्योंकि नीम ट्री की तरह भी लोग दूसरों की मदद कर सकते हैं. What according to the poetess is the highest aim of life? Central idea. That is the answer of last question. And okay, I hope that you have understood all the exercises and lesson. That was the exercise and lesson. Now open the diary, write down your diary. Memorize all question answers. Now I am giving you the general question answers. You should search it from anywhere you can search. That is general question. You can search yourself. Okay, and in 2000 this question comes in 2017 and 13, 10 years. Okay, so give brief sketch of life or life sketch of Mrs. Elsa Qazi. Mrs. Elsa Qazi की जिंदगी के बारे में बताना है. Okay. I am going to teach you the grammar. Your syllabus of 9th class is divided into 2 parts. English text, this one, 21 chapters, 14 lessons and 7 poems, and English grammar. Your English grammar is divided into, I am writing the syllabus of English grammar here, which is a part of 9th class board exams. Grammar and composition. In grammar, we will learn these topics, which I am writing on the board. Grammar we will read sentence, tense, voices, narration, preposition and articles, and some time degrees of adjective also. Composition, in composition we will learn application writing, letter writing, dialogues writing, essay writing and comprehension. Okay, that is the course of English grammar of class 9th. I have already written the boards. Grammar, sentence, tenses and modal verbs. Modal verbs are the part of tenses also. Voices, active voice, passive voice, narration, direct narration, indirect narration, preposition and articles. Okay, in English composition we will learn letter, application writing, letter writing, dialogues writing, essay writing and comprehension. Okay, so we will learn these things. Letter, first of all I am going to tell you that what is grammar. Grammar, you can say it is system of rules and regulations of speaking, writing, listening and understanding. If you want to understand any language of the world, you must know about the grammar. You must know about the rules of that language. You must know about the regulations of that language. So grammar teaches us the rules and regulation of any language. Okay? You can define it, a system of rules and regulation of any language. Through the help of it, we can understand, we can write, we can speak, we can listen any language easily of the world. So in English grammar is divided into 8 parts. Universally, generally it is divided into 8 parts, but one part is separated from that is article. So we can say the English grammar is divided into 9 parts. I am writing the parts of speech or parts of grammar here. So these are the 9 parts of English grammar, or parts of speech you can say. Noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction. Note down the spelling of conjunction: conjunction. Interjection and article. Article was the part of adjective, but now it is separated. There are 3 articles: definite article, indefinite article, 3 articles: a, and the. So article was the parts of adjective, but it is now separated. So that is why we can say there are 9 parts of speech. Speech means speaking any language. If we are, for example, I am speaking I am speaking according to these parts of speech. Each sentence is divided into these parts of speech. Okay, if I will synthesize my sentence, I will find noun there, I will find pronoun there, I will find adjective there. Okay, I will use these parts of speech to make any sentence. I will not go beyond these parts of speech. Okay, so noun, what is noun? Noun is noun words. Name of anything in the world is called noun. Sky is noun, Allah is noun, book is noun, board is noun. Noun of anything, any person, any place is called a noun. Okay, simply you can say naming word. Noun means name. Pronoun, which comes instead of noun, in place of noun. For example, we always use he for any male person, she for any female person. Okay, he, she, it, can. We always use instead of noun. We don't use again and again the noun, and we use the substitute of another word for that noun is called pronoun. Adjective means to show the quality or quantity of a noun. To add something with noun, that is called adjective. It describes the noun. Verb means action, movement. Movement of anything is called verb. For example, I am moving here and there. I am showing the action. That is verb. For example, I am speaking, the movement of my lips. That is verb. Okay? I am listening, the movement of my ears. That is also verb. Listening, speaking, reading, moving, running, sitting. These are the verb. Adverb. To add or to tell something about the verb, adjective or any other adverb is called adverb. But simply you can say to tell how the verb is working. How the verb is working. For example, I am moving slowly. So slowly is adjective here. I am moving fastly. Okay, I am speaking slowly. So slowly here is adverb. Preposition show the connection between two things. Where is duster? Duster is on the table. The connection between table and duster. On is a preposition here. Where I am in the class. Then now the connection of my presence and class. Okay? And the preposition means to show the connection between two things. Conjunction, to add two words, to connect two words, to connect two sentences or phrases or clauses called conjunction. Okay? For example, I and my brother. Now and is here adverb, conjunction, sorry. And, but, yet, not only, but also. These are the conjunction. To connect two words, two nouns or two sentences to show the connection. Interjection. Extreme feeling of happiness or extreme feeling of sadness is called interjection. Suddenly, for example, I am here, suddenly a good news, someone starts to tell me a good news. Automatically my feelings comes from my heart. Wow, emotional feelings. Wow, hooray, good news. When I listen the good news, automatically the good feelings are the feelings of happiness comes from my heart. It is the connection of interjection is with the heart. Okay? For example, the bad news comes. Oh, I have been fired. Oh, OMG, oh my God, alas. These are the feelings of sadness. So extreme feelings of happiness and extreme feelings of sadness is called interjection. Article A, N, V. Usage of A, N, M, V. We will learn the article in further lectures or further videos. This is the part of our course, and degrees of adjectives also, and preposition also we will learn the usage of preposition. Okay, so these are the parts of speech, that is, these are the parts of rules of the grammar, you can say. Through the help of these parts, we can speak any language very easily, not only English, but if we will learn the parts of speech of any other language, French, Latin, or any other language, we can speak that language very easily. Okay, but these are the parts of speech of noun. Oh, sorry, parts of speech of English. Okay, so parts of speech we have covered. First topic, parts of speech. Now come on the sentence. Sentence is the part of our course prescribed by the boards, metric boards. This is the basic thing, but you should memorize, you should understand it perfectly, because it is in our course. I am writing the definition of sentence. Note down. So the correct definition of sentence is a systematic group of words which makes complete sense is called a sentence. Okay, there should be complete sense and systematic group. So in the sky you can say phrase but not sentence, because there is a systematic group but there is a no sense in it. So both conditions are necessary to make a sentence. Okay. So these are that is the definition of sentence. Now further we will learn kinds of a sentence. Kinds of sentence. So that is, I am writing the kinds of sentence here. Note down. There are 5 kinds of a sentence. Generally, universally, there are 5 kinds of a sentence, but one sentence is divided further into 2 kinds. So you can say also 6 kinds of sentence, but universally there are 5 kinds of a sentence. Assertive sentence, number first kind, it is further divided into 2 more kinds, affirmative or negative sentence. When we will learn the meaning of assertive sentence or topic, we know the usage of that sentence also. So the meaning of assertive sentence is to explain something. The meaning of assertive sentence is to express something, to tell something. When someone asks from us about anything, that what are you doing or how are you, have you eaten a meal, I will reply him or her in 2 types, either in yes or in affirmative mood or in negative way. I will say, if I have eaten a meal, then I will say yes, I have eaten a meal. And if I have not, then I will say I have not eaten a meal. So assertive means to explain something, to tell something to someone. That is called assertive sentence. So assertive sentence is further divided into two kinds: affirmative, yes, or positive, yes, and negative, no. Okay. Number next. Number next sentence is interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentence, there are two types of interrogative sentence: formal interrogative, informal interrogative. Interrogative means to ask someone, to ask something from someone, or to inquire. You want to know something, you will start inquiring. That is called interrogative sentence. For example, I will ask from anyone that, how are you? Where are you going? Where are you going? So formal interrogative starts with formal symbols. WH family, you can say. WH family. Where, what, how, these are formal interrogative. And another type of interrogative is, we will start with the helping verb. Have you eaten a meal? It is a present perfect tense. Have you? Have is and has are the helping verbs of present perfect tense. First of all, we use helping verbs of sentence. After that, we will use subject, form of pronoun, and other words. Okay, there are two types of interrogative. Formal, the interrogative starts with the WH family, and the interrogative which starts with helping verbs. Okay. Number third type of sentences, or third kinds of sentences, imperative sentence. Imperative sentence, we always give order to someone. In these types of sentences, we always give order to someone. We always request for getting something. Order, request, command, forbid. We always forbid to someone. Mana karna kisi. Okay, we always use go out, get lost, bring the chalk, come here, bring the chair. That is order. Principal always orders the peon, bring the chair. Okay. And for example, please give me pen, please give me your marker, please lend me some money. That is request. Don't eat betel nuts, don't eat betel leaf, don't commit bad habits. Okay, don't be habitual of bad habits. You all take this medicine, suggestion, advice also. Take this medicine thrice in a day. Okay, doctor gives suggestion to patient. So you use, or we always use order, command, request, suggestion, or forbid. That is called imperative sentence. Note that in imperative sentence we never use subject. Subject is understood, you is understood. I am speaking with other person. For example, I am a teacher. I will say, student, I am a peon, bring the chalk. So I will not say you go and bring the chalk. Here you is understood. In imperative sentence, we miss the subject. Okay, because you is subject is understood here. Okay. Number 4 kind is exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory sentence, you can connect that sentence, other type of sentence, with interjection. Exclamatory sentence, you can also say or call interjection as an exclamatory sentence, because in that sentence we always exclaim the feeling of happiness, the feeling of sadness. Okay, hooray, I have got the first position. Wow, I secured 92 percentage. Okay. Oh no, Pakistan has lost the match. Okay, hooray, Pakistan has won the match. That is called extreme feeling of happiness, extreme feeling of sadness. I already told you in interjection, that is called exclamatory sentence. These types of sentences are called, or these kinds of sentences are called exclamatory sentences. And number 5 is optative sentence. Number 5 is optative sentence. So if you will open the book of Raymond Martin, you will find 4 kinds. This kind is missed, but in many other books, operative sentence is also kinds of sentence. Operative sentence, we always pray or we always curse for someone, that is called operative sentence. May God bless you, or we always wish you best of luck, or we always curse, may God block your 32. Okay, so that is sentence. And a systematic group of words which makes a complete sense is called a sentence. For example, I am teaching English. Kinds of sentence, the sentence is divided into 5 kinds. Assertive sentence is further divided into 2 kinds. Affirmative, to explain something, to tell something in yes or no moods. Okay, no. Affirmative or negative. Interrogative sentence, to ask someone about something. Imperative sentence, to give order, to give command, to request or forbid to someone, or give advice or suggestion to someone. Exclamatory sentence, extreme feeling of happiness, to show extreme feeling of happiness while speaking, to show extreme feeling of sadness while speaking is called exclamatory sentence. Optative sentence, to pray for someone, to curse for someone, or to give the best wishes to someone, that is called optative sentence. Okay, these are the kinds of sentences. So if you are going to Australia or if you are going to Cuba, you will speak whatever you will speak. You will speak in a sentence. First of all, you will select the words of any language. If you are speaking French, or if you are speaking English, if you are speaking Italian, if you are speaking Hindi or another language, you will first of all you will select the words. After that, you will connect these words, or you will make a group of these words, and you will make a sentence. You will speak in sentence. For a sentence is a way of communication. Sentence is a tool through which we can speak or we can start communication. Okay? So that sentence, for example, I am speaking English. Whatever I am teaching you, whatever I have spoken 5 sentences, these kinds of. Whatever I am speaking, these are divided into 5 kinds. Okay? So, sentence and kinds. In the board exams, you will find MCQs type of question, or you will find 1 or 2 MCQs which will be from the sentence and its kinds. A sentence will be given and there will be 4 options. That is it affirmative, is it interrogative, or is it negative, or is it imperative, or exclamatory, etc., etc. Okay, so that is sentence and its kinds. Second topic of this today is completed, and third topic is tense. We have completed 2 topics. Third topic is tense. Tense is very necessary for you. 7 or 8 numbers or 7 or 8 questions of MCQs and translation comes from the tenses. Tense is the basic to learn or to complete your course. If you want to understand any language or English, you must focus on the tense. If you want to speak English fluently, you should know everything. I will detail up about the tenses. Okay, so be attentive while learning tenses. Tense is a Latin word which comes from French word tense, T-E-N-S. Okay, so the meaning of tense is simply time. The meaning of tense is time. For example, this is your life. This is life sketch. For example, this is your life. You are in 13 years because you are 9th class. You are in 13 years. How many years have you passed? 13 years. How many years you are going to be passed? According to Islamic point of view, 50 years are remaining. what is the age? What is our age? Probable age 63 years. Why? Because we are Muslims. The age of Holy Prophet Hazrat Muhammad peace be upon him was 63. The age of Imam Ali alayhi salam was also 63. That is why we connect that our exact age of a Muslim is 63 years. Okay? You are in 9th class, your age will be 13 years. You are currently in 13 years. Okay? Today. And you are past 13 years. You will be 50 years are going to be remaining to be passed. So this currently you are in current time or in currently you are living in current day, that is called present. And whatever years you have passed, that is called past. The years you are going to be past, you will spend the years, remaining years, that is called future. So the time is divided into 3 parts: past time, present time, future time. Past time, present time, future time. Past time of your life means present time of your life, future time of your life. Okay? The time you have spent, the time you are spending, the time you will spend. Clear? So each tense, the tense is divided into 3 parts. Tense or time is divided into 3 parts. Number first, present. Number first, present. Past. Future. Present, past, future. Each tense or each time is divided further into 4 forms. Each tense has 4 forms. Simple or indefinite, continuous or progressive, perfect, perfect continuous or perfect progressive tense. Okay? So each tense is divided, I have already told you, in 4 forms. These are the forms of tense. So if you write separately, so I will separate it: present simple tense or present indefinite tense 1, present continuous tense or present progressive tense 2, present perfect tense, present 3, present perfect continuous or present perfect progressive tense. Okay, note down the spelling of continuous, should not make the mistakes. CONTINUOUS, not NOUS, NUOUS. So 4 form of present tense: present simple, present continuous, present perfect continuous. And 4 form of same form will be of past: past simple tense, indefinite tense, past continuous tense or progressive tense, past perfect tense 7, past perfect continuous tense 8. 4 plus 4 8, and future same form will be of the future tense: future simple tense, future indefinite tense, future continuous tense, future progressive tense, future perfect tense, future perfect continuous tense. So universally there are 10 tenses. Okay, there are 3 types of times, 3 parts of times, which are further divided into 4 forms. So we can, if we will add these forms, if we will connect these forms, we will know that there are 4 forms of tense. Okay, oh, sorry, there are 10 types of tenses. Okay, so in your board exam you will find 2 questions from these tenses. First question, and number 9 question. Number first question, MCQs type of questions. You will find at least 7 or 8 MCQs from tenses. At least in the new pattern, 20 MCQs I think will come. You will find at least 7 or 8 questions from the tenses. Okay, and translation, 5 translation you have to, there is choice in translation. 6 or 8 sentence or translation will come, and you have to translate any 5 sentence. So you will find 5 sentences from the tenses. So 5 plus 6 are 7, 10 marks of questions. If you have understood the tenses, you will secure your 10 marks. Okay. So these are that is the definition of tense and forms of tense, and tense is divided into 4 forms. So 12 tenses. So we have completed also tense. So inshallah in next video I will teach you the tense, the present simple tense, present continuous tense, and present perfect and present perfect continuous tense. I will teach you present and its forms. Okay. So open your diary now. Memorize classwork and do practice. Sauces Bacon says practice makes man perfect. If you will practice of these tenses and sentence, grammar and tenses, you will understand it. Without practice you cannot understand sentence, tenses and grammar, because it is, you can say, it is the mathematical way of learning. Okay. I hope that you have understood, and you will inshallah complete your diary work inshallah. Thank you.